Hello, Grizzlies. France. What do we think of when we think about France? Romance, rivers, Renaissance, Rembrandt. He's Dutch, wasn't he? Great food, cheese, garlic, revolution, surrendering, wine, politics. And moving into the modern age, I think the things most prominent on our minds would be migrant camps, lawless, violent no-go areas, strikes, violent protest, brutal, no-nonsense riot police action. And a very hot topic here and in Europe, the love of the EU, a Brexit. Now, we're all led to believe that France, a lot of the places in Central Europe, adore the EU and despise this group of savages across the channel, right? All with white faces, enraged, overly nationalistic and patriotic, stamping our feet about this Brexit and the EU that they all love and they all protect. And that's what we're led to believe if we watch certain outlets. But is that the truth? Paul and I wanted to go and find out the truth for ourselves. So during the day of reckoning for Brexit, when it was actually meant to happen and we were due to leave, we decided to go and find out. We decided to go and live in a migrant camp, visit some violent no-go areas, get involved in a yellow vest strike protest that got a bit nasty, and then got involved with the Riot Police. They're quite fond of gassing people, as we found out. We also wanted to chat to the locals in these yellow vest protests, because they're angry about something. They can't be happy with everything that's going on in their country and Europe as a whole. Do they all depict us like they say in the media, that we're all just petulant children stamping our feet and we should love this little union that they've crafted and they adore? Well, the answer was a bit different. And through our little journey of experiencing all the rest of the stuff that was going on in France, rather than just turning up and speaking to a few people and then disappearing, we got to find out what actually was going on the ground. Here's the footage of Paul and I getting into France on the day of reckoning for Brexit, when we were due to leave the European Union, which I still don't think we have really, have we? This is what happened on the ground.
Oh no! Another good night spent in amongst the trees in some local park in the middle of Paris.
It's right in the city centre. Everyone on the piss last night as we jumped over the fence.
So the rumour has it the protesters will be at Gare du Nord today, where we were Thursday night. So we're going to head back there this morning. Fingers crossed it'll kick off and we'll see it from the start, from its infancy, because we're both intrigued as to how does a riot start, who throws the first stone, who throws the first punch. So hopefully we'll get there before that happens and we can show you how it develops.
A yellow vest, good to go.
I've not got one.
GoPro cameras, good to go. Somebody?
Yeah. What else do you need for a riot?
Yeah. Face masks. Gas mask, hopefully.
Oh, I have got safety glasses, just in case bullets do start to fly.
Safety glasses?
Yeah.
Fucking geek. Good morning to the rat trap. It's laid right next to me. And the busybodies up walking around everywhere.
Lie in, they don't have.
No chance.
Not around here.
06 again, head us up. We're next to some big monument. Go on. We're about to go on a protest. Pretty tired again, not much sleep last night, not much food. But we're in good spirits as usual.
Hot dogs for tea.
Hot dogs for tea. And yeah, we're going to get a yellow vests on. And we're going to go find a riot. So we'll see you later.
These people here have just left Burger King where we are, and they've just put their yellow vests on and they are starting to walk towards the train station. I guess this is the turning point where they're going to start the protest. Let's see how it develops.
Boys are all tooled up.
We are rolling. Tunes are bouncing. That's what I call a protest. This is Tramp 2 buying a can of lager from a mobile bar on the march. With an homeless and angry sign strapped to his back. Can't write it. Brilliant.
This is Swansea.
Now we're talking. I'm on the wrong side, yeah, we're under attack. We're in the thick of it now. It's getting violent. The cops are kicking off. The lads are kicking off. So the cops are running, there's gas bombs going off, smoke bombs going off. Cops are in retreat. Oh fuck, see that? We just been fucking CS gassed. So we need to get clear, I'm gonna hold my breath. As you can see, lights are fucking streaming. We've been CS gassed by the cops. Nothing we haven't done before. Jono! As you can see, National line. Reported has got a face full of CS gas. Hot right to Kentucky. Unlucky, good buddy. Have a day. This lad Ed here, just been dosed with CS. The medics have all been round him, crying his eyes out. Guess what he's doing? Come back for more.
This is my new friend.
Oh, hang on. Charged.
We were on the ground doing the protest, chatting to a few of the guys there. There was a lot of anger, a lot of tension. They're not happy about a lot of things in their country and their leadership, Macron and the cabinet. And Paul and I, we were a little bit apprehensive with going to chat to them because we believed the narrative that we've been told. They all just frown on us because we're stamping our feet, playing up and acting out, not towing the party line. We're going to speak to these people. They're just going to think we're ignorant Brits, racist and anti-Europe, as in the people, which of course nobody is, that voted for Brexit or wants Brexit. I'll talk to you about my position before the vote in a sec. Nobody actually is anti-Europe. They're just anti an idea and an organisation, a syndicate, if you like. But we were apprehensive. We thought, we're going to go in there, they're going to have their fingers in our faces. You bloody Brits, you're ignorant, you don't know what's going on, you hate us, you're just being stubborn. But it's quite different. Well, really different. We got there, started talking to a few guys. The moment we realised it was different was immediately. Because as soon as we introduced ourselves and they found out we were British, hand straight out to shake our hands. And Brexit, straight away. Yes, Brexit. Shook our hands, clapping, calling other people over to come and chat to us. Like, this is the real article now. We're seeing what we want, is what we found out. Frexit, they were saying to us. A lot of them, when they say, oh, Brexit, we want Frexit. And I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting this. I thought, we're told they're all lefty lovies and all singing and dancing, doing ringy rosies for the EU, and none of them were. In this particular part, I can't generalise the whole of the country, of course, or the whole of Paris, or even a part of wider Paris. But in this environment, and this group and demographic, boom, it was 100%. They were for Brexit, and they want their own Frexit. I'm sure this won't get shown on anything. I don't want to go into this, oh, the media won't tell you that, or they won't tell you this. I don't want to go down that route, so read between the lines as you will. But I haven't seen that anywhere on any regular news channels. I don't like to use the word mainstream, because it's thrown around a lot, but you know what I mean. You won't see it on a lot of the prominent news channels. I haven't ever seen that angle. It is out there, I'm sure, but I haven't seen it, so it can't be that widespread. But it was in our faces, and they were lauding it. The bravery, they were like, you're so brave. We wish we had someone that could push this as far as you've pushed it. That really surprised me, because everything I was getting told was we were going to get a frosty reception, and didn't. Paul was massively pro-Brexit from the start, voted for it. This will probably surprise not just you, who've probably never met me, but people who know me, and we've never really spoken about politics or whatever, and maybe seen a few of my videos recently as well, chat to me in my bar, Copper Bar down in Swansea. Gonna surprise them. I voted Remain. I could feel the bricks getting launched at my house from everybody, all my pro-Brexit friends. Or the astonishment, the absolute shock that is the case. But it was, and there's a reason for that. Not because I love the EU or had any affiliation or affection for the people who are now still tantruming about it and going on. The exact opposite. The reason was because I didn't like it and I didn't think it worked. But being optimistic and naive, I guess, really optimistic, my thinking on it was not that I love it and we should stay part of it and it's all great and rosy. It was, no, it stinks. It ain't working. It ain't working for us. Something needs to be done. But my thinking at the time was, maybe we can do that from the inside. And again, being an optimist with a military background is not to just go the opposite way straight away and leave the room. It's to go, well, can we sort it out in the room first? And in that way, I can have some of my influence. Instead of leaving and then trying to change it when you're on the outside and they're like, whatever, you ain't got a voice now. I was like, well, if I'm still in the room, I can still argue with them and I can still have some sway. You're never going to get your own way completely. We can manipulate it and try and get it to work for ourselves. Naive, yeah, because what happened once we left showed me that was a very naive and foolish way to look at it, because that was never going to happen. And it took us to leave for me to realise that. And I hope that makes sense, that I weren't in love with it, but my reasoning was, like when we first joined all these things, we took a while. We weren't one of the first members. And if we had been one of the first members, again, maybe I'm being too optimistic and naive, we could have shaped it differently, right? I'm sure there's powers bigger than everything that would have stopped that. But again, being a little bit of a dreamer, maybe back in the day, if we'd have joined it straight off, we could have had a chance of it being a bit different now. We'll never know. We can cast aspersions. But that was my thought process for voting Remain. Right? I'm not your classic Remainer that we all see now, which is one of the reasons why I went so far the other way. Not so far the other way, but the other way. quite a bit. That was my thoughts on it. And I was unashamed about it. I posted that on social media. A lot of arguments with very pro-Brexit friends, but good arguments. We're still best mates. We're still all friends and still got on with it. And they respected it. They were like, yeah, I can see your point. You're not just doing it because, oh, yes, it's just EU and I'm blind and that I just want Europe. They go, well, yeah, I've got a point. You can see, I don't agree with it and I don't think that is something that could work. But they agreed with it. We spoke about it in a grown-up manner. So I voted Remain. And this is brilliant, actually, because whenever we get into an argument now, like you do with somebody on the far left or a Remainer, like an ardent Remainer, I'll speak to Remainers and we can have a chat about it. But the ardent ones, you know the score, you can't speak to them. But it's great now because I'll say something in an argument, in a forum, whatever, and they'll immediately see that, you know the score. As soon as you say something that disagrees with them, they'll label you. That's it. Well, they've already made you the enemy because they need enemies, right? And boom. And it'll just show their ignorance. Typical Brexiteer is what they'll say. And you've all had it, I'm sure. And I'm just like, yes, brilliant. And I'll say, well, funny you should say that, throwing labels around being ignorant, because I actually voted for Remain. And straight away their comeback is, and I know it's coming. Oh yeah, of course you did. You're just saying that now to try and look moderate and blah, blah. Really? I've still saved all the social media posts that I put at the time. Big, long things telling you what I've just told you, not just, oh, I'm voting Remain. These are my reasons of why I'm weighing it up, and it's not a foregone conclusion that I will go to the ballot and do it, but I said, this is what I'm erring towards now. And I got all these saved. So I just post them on there and go, there you go. Date on there, my thoughts in full about it, and boom, just shuts them down straight away. Because it defeats their rhetoric, their agenda, their whole way of looking at things. They can't process it. Well, this guy's my enemy, so I have to label him as an ignorant Brexiteer is the word, isn't it? And then when you show that to them, they've got nothing else in their bag, in the basket. So that's great. And then what happened after the vote, I quickly realised how wrong I was. Because the behaviour of EU, our politicians, and the ardent Remainers was diabolical. I mean, the attitude of the EU, even before the vote, was so arrogant. They were so confident that the vote was going to go their way. They're not going to play up. One of our minions, one of our subjects, they'll toe the line, they'll vote correctly, we'll continue being corrupt and ripping the ass out of them. So arrogant. And any sort of argument against them, it was petty, petulant put-downs. And then after the vote, it got worse. They dug their heels in instead of going, well, all right, they voted for it. It's a democracy. That's the world we live in. They voted for it. We got to take it on the chin. And instead of also self-reflecting, going, what did we do wrong here? Do we need to look inward a little bit here and go, well, why have they voted? They're not happy, obviously. Because obviously they don't listen to their own people on that because they're striking every weekend in yellow vests. Why has this happened? How has it got so bad where one of the biggest countries in the world has left this union? Like, surely that's got to be a shock to the system. When I was in the Marines and the military, it's massive of self-critique. You do something wrong, something goes wrong, you can't just go, it was someone else's fault. Sometimes it is, and it is a little bit, or it is a lot, but you also got to go, well, what part of that could I have done differently, or done better, or not done at all, and self-reflect. There was none of that from them. There was just, we are now going to punish you for it. That was what the message I was seeing from there. So quickly, I saw that. I saw the people wanted another vote when there's no way they would have asked for one if it had gone their way. And it's completely undemocratic and against what they'd argued for before it, because they thought they were going to win. So they were like, no, we don't need another vote. We're going to win. And you're going to accept it. We're going to show you once and for all, we do want to be in the EU. And so the behaviour of the Remainers were just, we want another vote, stamping their feet, calling everyone from Brexit. You ruined our future. You ruined my business. You ruined everything. Right? Apollo Creed died last year, didn't he? With Brexit's probably to blame for that. And it was that then that really changed my mind on it. I was like, flipping heck. I thought we could change it from the inside and work with it. And that attitude showed me there was no chance of that. Even a vote of protest against them, and they still didn't accept that it wasn't working. So I was naive. I was too optimistic. Oh well, my vote didn't affect the result in the end. So it's all good. So that's a little explanation about my history with the Brexit thing. Hopefully it explains it. It was great to see this alternative opinion from the French people, the real people on the streets. And they were the real people. These were the workers, the tradesmen, the farmers, okay, everyone involved in industry at the lowest level, not the people who own the factories. They weren't happy. And so a lot of what we saw in the UK at that time and what we're seeing here at the minute as well. Similarities, which hope that's put a good spin on it for people who haven't been there and seen that. And hopefully opened your eyes a little bit to it. And because I didn't think it was going to be like that. And a lot of you know probably surprised to hear that it was so the opposite way of what we're told. We're hated all over Europe because of Brexit. So it ain't the truth. And we got to see that on the ground.